Chat, the last time we did a Fedtime story, we talked about Feddy Ghosters, who was a little boy who just wanted to be loved. He just wanted to be loved by everyone. And he had some very mean ghost parents. There you are, chat. I see you now. You're here with me. This sounds like Undertale music. It is. Dots aren't lined up. What do you mean the dots aren't lined up? I don't know what you mean. Oh, no. The equalizer goes over here, because that's where the story goes. It's fine. It's fine. And then we do an alert box. We do an alert box over here. Guys, thank you for being patient while I fixed it. So, Feddy Ghosters was just a little boy who was born to very cruel and mean ghost parents. And one day, a little ferret brought him a letter that said, "You're a ghost wizard, Feddy Ghosters. Come to the school of Fedwarts, and you will learn ghost wizardry." And Feddy thought, wow. But his parents didn't want him to go. Until a brave man named Haggard came, and the ferrets tore his family to pieces. So they went to a bus station in Detroit. And there, Feddy Ghosters decided, I'm gonna make a change. And Haggard said, we're going to Fedwarts, kid. I'm taking you there right now. So they got in a trash can and they flushed themselves down the toilet inside of the trash can. And here is where we start with part 2 of Fedtime stories, Feddy Ghosters, and the story of Fedwarts. Get snuggled in, chat. Swirling around inside of the toilet, inside of the trash can, Feddy noticed all of the magical toilet water flowing in and out of the trash can, and he thought, wow, I'm really going to be a ghost wizard with this big, hairy guy named Haggard. I just can't wait. But little did Feddy know that the trash can wasn't up to OSHA specifications. In fact, it had a crack in it. And as the magical toilet water pelted and pounded against the side of the trash can began to fracture and break. Yes, Haggard the Horrible, Dan. Yes, you know him. And so, after several minutes of traveling in the trash water pipe, the trash can shattered into a million pieces. And there, Feddy was left swirling in the water, and Haggard too. And Feddy reached out. He said, Haggard, will I ever see you again? And Haggard said, maybe. And so Haggard was sucked down one pipe, and Feddy down another. And he wiggled and he rolled, and he did everything he could with his little ghost body to keep him going in the right direction, but he had no control. And suddenly, a burst of light. Feddy exploded into a tiled room. It was actually quite nice. He liked the room. It had little decorative soaps on the wall in the shape of fine cheeses, and it had a very small scented candle called Home. And Feddy looked around and he saw 2 very stunned, mustachioed men. And the mustachioed men scratched their heads and said, "What do you make of it, Louis?" And Louis said, "I don't know, Marcus. Looks like a booger. We've never pulled a booger out of a toilet before." Feddy shook the toilet water off of his body, and he said, "I'm not a booger. I'm a ghost." And he said, "What are you guys?" Were never to be seen again. Lopty, thank you very much for the follow. I'm gonna silence these just while I do this story. So, Marco turned to Louis and he said, "What do you think? Should we put it back in the can?" And Louis said, "I don't know, Marco. It's your decision." Feddy said, "What are you guys?" They said, "We're plumbers. We do hard work." And Louis turned towards the toilet and said, "This toilet's been stuck for ages. Some kid flushed his pet turtle down the toilet. Can you believe it?" Feddy said, "That's terrible. Can I help?" And Marco said, Well, sure, kid, you can go through pipes, can't you? Go down there and get the turtle out. And Feddy said, all right. I'll grab it, if it's what you need me to do. So Feddy went back into the toilet and he flushed himself down. And with ease he passed through the pipes, but he was careful this time. And then he got finally to some clog in a pipe. He noticed everything else was backed up in there, and he saw the tail end of a turtle waggling as hard as it could. And so Feddy went around the turtle to the other side. And when he got to the other side, he noticed it was dry, and there was a teeny tiny turtle there. Hello? Feddy said, don't be afraid. I'm here to help you. And the turtle said, oh, I'm so happy. And the Feddy reached out with one hand, and he tried to move the turtle. And he realized that the turtle was stuck. Feddy said, can you get yourself out? The turtle said, I don't think so. Feddy said, I'm going to push real hard, and we're going to get you out on the count of 3. And chat, I need you to count to 3 with me. Chat, are you ready? We're going to push the turtle out of the toilet together. Here we go. Chat. 1, 2, and 3. Whoosh went the water as the turtle was free from the pipe. Said Feddy as he held the turtle for dear life. And he pulled the turtle up to the very tippy top of the pipe and out of the toilet. Sploosh went the water again, all over Marco and Louie. Feddy looked at the turtle and he said, what's your name? And the turtle said, my name's Bowie. And Feddy said, Bowie, huh? I'm never gonna forget you, Bowie. And Marco scratched his head and he said, good work, kid. The turtle's free. Why are you talking to the turtle, though? It can't talk back. Feddy looked at the turtle and he looked back at Marco and he said, you can't hear the turtle? And Marco said, what are you talking about, kid? It's a turtle. And the turtle raised one teeny tiny arm up to its mouth to indicate that Feddy shouldn't say anything about being able to understand. And Feddy shook his head. And Feddy gave the turtle to Louie. And Louie said, kid, you did real good today. I tell you what, you get back in that trash can, and we'll flush you down with so much force, you'll get to wherever you were going. And Feddy said, well, I don't even know where I am. Indiana, said Louie. Oh, well then I definitely want to leave, said Feddy. So Feddy climbed into the toilet, and he held himself tight, and he closed his eyes, because he knew he was going for a wild ride. Louie said, thanks again, kid. And Marco said, thanks a lot. You did us some good. 3, 2, 1. Whoosh! Feddy went back down into the toilet. And as he was going down, he heard Louie say, kid, always take the right side, no matter where you go. You'll get where you need to go. Thanks, Louie, Feddy wanted to say, but his mouth was full of trash and water. And down Feddy went back on to his next magical journey, to find his way back to Fedwarts. And that, chat, is the end of the second part of Feddy Ghosters and the story of Fedwarts. I hope you enjoyed, chat. I hope you liked it quite a bit. Renimus, I am celebrating finishing a final I thought wouldn't be finishable by giving 500 bits to a few streamers. Have a good day. Thank you very much, Renimus. That's very generous. I have alerts off, but thank you. That's very generous. I appreciate that very much. Chat, is Bowie going to be okay, Fed? Yep. He's going to be given back. He's going to be just fine, I promise you. Chat, I know you're getting very sleepy, but we're going to go raid somebody. We're going to raid somebody really nice. And I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to raid Deerclops. because he's a nice boy. And he deserves it. It's okay. Corn chip, I'm going to highlight, and we're going to get it up on YouTube. But